Deep in a lush, green world, there lived a young boy named Oliver. Oliver wasn't like other boys. While they played with sticks and stones, Oliver saw stories in them. He loved exploring the forest behind his house, a place where sunlight dappled through the leaves and every rustle held a secret. For Oliver, the forest was a giant book, and he turned a new page with every step. He found beauty in the delicate veins of a fallen leaf, in the smooth, cool surface of a river stone, and in the intricate patterns of moss on a tree trunk. His heart was a constant drumbeat of curiosity and excitement, always eager for the next discovery. One sunny afternoon, while venturing deeper than usual, Oliver spotted a flower unlike any he had ever seen. Its petals shimmered with all the colors of the rainbow, and it seemed to hum with a gentle light. As he knelt to get a closer look, a tiny, glowing creature with delicate, transparent wings fluttered out from behind a petal. She hovered in the air right in front of him, sparkling like a tiny star. "Hello, Oliver," she greeted him. Her voice was like the softest chime of a bell. "Welcome to the enchanted forest." Oliver's eyes widened in amazement. A real fairy. He wasn't scared, just filled with wonder. The fairy, seeing the pure curiosity in his eyes, beckoned with a tiny, sparkling hand. She led him away from the familiar paths, deeper and deeper into the woods. The trees grew taller, their branches twisting into magical shapes, and the air grew thick with the scent of unknown blossoms. After a while, they arrived at a clearing where everything shimmered and glowed with a soft, ethereal light. It was as if they had stepped into a dream. In the center of this magical glade stood the most magnificent creature Oliver had ever imagined. It was a unicorn, its coat as white as freshly fallen snow and its mane like spun silk. A single, spiraling horn grew from its forehead, glowing with a gentle, pearly light. The unicorn looked at Oliver with large, intelligent eyes that seemed to hold the wisdom of the ages. As Oliver stood there, admiring its breathtaking beauty, the unicorn gracefully lowered its majestic head, inviting him to touch its silky mane. Oliver hesitantly reached out, his fingers sinking into the softest fur he had ever felt. A feeling of pure peace washed over him. The gentle unicorn seemed to take a liking to Oliver, and as he and the fairy continued their journey, it followed them. Soon, they reached the edge of a crystal-clear lake. The water was so still and pure that it perfectly mirrored the sky above. Spanning across the lake was a bridge that shimmered as if it were spun from pure gold. Waiting for them at the foot of the bridge was an elf, with long, pointed ears peeking out from under a John's green hat. He had a friendly smile and twinkling eyes. He bowed politely and welcomed them to cross the bridge. The four of them, Oliver, the fairy, the unicorn, and the elf, walked across the golden bridge together. With each step, the air grew warmer and a magnificent castle came into view. It wasn't made of stone, but of what looked like crystal and moonlight, with towers that pierced the clouds. Oliver's heart pounded with wonder and awe. He had read about such places in storybooks, but to see it in real life was beyond anything he could have ever dreamed. Inside the grand hall of the castle, they were greeted by the king and queen of the fairies. They were taller and even more radiant than the other fairies, adorned in flowing robes and wearing crowns of woven starlight and gold. The queen fairy smiled warmly at Oliver. "You have a kind and pure heart, Oliver," she said, her voice echoing with grace and power. "We have watched you explore our forest with respect and love for all its creatures. Because of this, we would love for you to visit us whenever you wish." Oliver's face lit up with joy. He thanked the king and queen profusely, promising he would return to visit his new, magical friends. He waved a happy goodbye to the fairy, the unicorn, and the elf. As he began his journey home, with the sun setting and casting long shadows through the trees, he replayed the entire adventure in his mind. He couldn't wait to tell his parents all about the enchanted forest, even if they might not believe him. From that day forward, the forest was more than just a place to play. It was Oliver's gateway to a world of magic. He visited often, and each time he discovered something new: a talking squirrel, a river that sang, or flowers that bloomed in the shape of stars. Oliver's adventures in the enchanted forest filled his life not only with magic and joy, but also shaped him into the kindest, most curious, and most imaginative boy in the entire village. And his story, like the forest itself, was just beginning.